Hi, Mike from 360 Fitness, and welcome to this basic lower body stretching routine. First off, we're going to start with the hamstrings and lower back. So keeping those knees locked back, slowly reach down to touch the floor as far as you can go. Tuck in your chin, and you want to be doing this for about 30 seconds. It's just a shortened version. Move in slowly, in and out of stretches. This one's for the quads. So reaching your foot behind you, grabbing onto it, use a wall if you need to stabilise yourself, and then just gently pull up on that foot. Switching legs every time, obviously. If you're not really feeling it, what you can do is actually pull your knee back behind you as well, which will lengthen the distance of either end of the tissue to give you a bit more of a stretch. Okay, next moving into the groin area. Kneeling down on one leg, and then the leg you're stretching, moving out as far as you can, and almost pushing that leg down into the ground. Moving back in nice and slowly, switching to the other leg. What you can also do is actually rotate your foot in and out. Play about, find where you're tight, and then hold that position. Okay, next, moving on to the hamstrings. Again, these are just the basic stretches for each of the muscle groups in the lower limb. I'll post future videos which will have more variation, a bit more of an intense stretch. But for now, this is fine as a daily routine. Reaching down, keeping your body upright, keeping that anterior pelvic tilt, and reaching down, pulling back on the toes as well to give you more of a stretch. If you can't get down to the toes, don't worry, just go down as far as you can. Keeping the leg that you aren't stretching in that bent position, keeping it nice and relaxed. Next, moving on to the glutes. So you want to cross your legs over at a slight angle and hug your knee in or pull it into your chest. If you're not as tight as me, what you can do is place the outside of your arm onto the outside of your knee and turn your body away from the way that you're stretching. Again, if any of these don't work for you, then just do some research on variations. I'll be posting more in future videos. But if you want to do a bit of research yourself, there's plenty of information out there. Okay, this one, a bit more of a lower back. I tend to feel it a bit more on the top of my hamstrings and the top of my groins. So you can either do it pulling both legs in at once, or relaxing one knee in that bent position and then pulling back on the others. Just make sure your shoulders, your neck, your spine are nicely relaxed into the floor on this one. Okay, next is the hip flexor. A lot of people neglect this, so they'll tend to be very tight in this area. May even start affecting their lower back. So you're actually stretching the leg that's bent backwards. To increase the stretch, keeping your body upright, so not to overextend that lower back. You can actually reach behind you and over to the side that you aren't stretching. Again, nice and slow in and out of these. Next one, moving on to the lower limb. Key points here is you want to be putting that weight into that back heel, keeping it on the floor and keeping that leg straight. This will be focusing more on your gastrocnemius or your calf muscle. Again, you want to be doing all these stretches longer than I'm doing them. This is just a shortened version so the video isn't too long. Okay, next, focusing more on the soleus. You want to bend your back knee this time, putting the weight into that heel. You should feel this more lower down towards your heel. In a future video I'll show you a few variations on this stretch that are a lot more effective, in my opinion. This is just a basic one, if you're not too tight. Like I say, you can do this routine daily, as many times as you want, whenever you've got time. Next, another neglected muscle, the anterior tibialis. Make sure the tops of your foot are flat down onto the floor, leaning back. Using your hands behind it to stabilise yourself so you don't overstretch. You may also feel that in your hip flexor or your quads, depending on where your tightest areas are. Okay, this one, again, probably feel this more in the soleus and also the plantar fasciitis, which is the bottom of your foot, and your Achilles tendon. I'm quite tight here, so I can't actually get my toes down onto the floor. This is a really good stretch. I feel it in the big toe and all the way across the bottom of the foot and into the Achilles tendon. Depending on how tight your hips are, you may feel this quite heavily in the hips as well, but I'm also pulling up on my foot to stretch the muscles on the outside of the lower limb, the peroneals. You can obviously do this in a chair or on a bench if you struggle to do it against the wall. Okay, so I'm Mike from 360 Fitness. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. I've only just started, so bear with me, I'll be making plenty more in the future. Hopefully I'll improve the quality. Okay, thanks, bye again.